Bait and switch is a little too strong in its current form, outpacing most other options. Yesterday, Bungie tweeted out that today we would be getting a pretty fat twab going over some, well, a lot of buffs, changes to both weapons, abilities, and a whole lot of other stuff. We're going to be covering the highlights, aka stuff I wanted to talk about from the twab. We'll start from the top. Some stuff on the solar side. Ember of Mercy is now going to extend your restoration duration by 2 seconds when a fire sprite is collected. And then Ember of Solace is going to extend that 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Extending your restoration is always a good thing. Speaking of extending restoration, Ember of Empyrean. Base duration is going from 12 to 15, and they're going to rework the duration extension granted with each solar defeat. You'll get less duration for weaker enemies, more duration for stronger enemies. We don't know the exact values, but we'll see in the future. Let's talk about rocket launchers. Precisions have been irrelevant for over a year. They're going to now increase the ammo reserve by 2 and reduce the damage penalty to only -5% instead of -10. So now your Palmyra is only going to do 15% less damage than a base hothead instead of 20% less. However, you are going to get 2 more rockets. Also, high impact frame rocket launchers are also going to be getting 2 extra rockets as well. However, this buff to high impact frame rocket reserves is not limited to just the legendary ones. This is also going to include rocket launchers like the Deathbringer, the Truth, but most importantly, Gjallarhorn. That's right, Bipod Gjallarhorn, baby. This means that in PvE, whenever you rally to a flag with triple reserves and you are the Gjallarhorn person in your fire team, you're gonna have 12 rockets. So don't use that excuse of, hey, I ain't got no more rocket ammo. Sorry guys, no wolf packs. What? Nah, homie, you're gonna have 12 now. 12! A big fat 12 pack. That is definitely one of the most important lines I wanted to mention to you from the twab. Gjallarhorn is now going to basically have bipod. Sweet. All right, now let's talk about heavy grenade launchers, my guy. Increase reserve ammo by minimum of 6 rounds, maximum of 10 rounds, depending on the grenade launcher. Reduce spike grenades impact damage buff from 50% to 12.5%. With the below changes, this reduces the total spike grenades damage buff from about 8% to 3%, making them less mandatory. If they're best in slot, I'm still gonna chase it though. Increase direct impact damage by 10%. Combined with the above change, this brings non-spike grenade launchers almost up to the level of spike grenade launchers, and very slightly reduces damage output with a spike grenade launcher. How many times did I just have to say spike grenade launcher? Increase detonation damage by 5%. I don't care about what it does in PvP. Wave frame grenade launchers are also getting a pretty sizable buff. Increased damage by 20%. Increased wave width by 40%. Meaning it's going to be doing more damage and a wider surface per shot. That is a dub. We'll happily take that. Now, something to note about this grenade launcher buff is the fact that this is going to include the Anarchy. Even if Anarchy only gets the minimum of 6 extra shots, that thing doesn't even have spike grenades, so it doesn't even care about that change. It just cares about the fact that it gets more ammo now. Definitely making it a bit more viable, and I'm very much so looking forward to seeing just how much ammo the Anarchy is going to be able to hold once again whenever these changes do go into play. Of course, the other main grenade launcher that people actually give a rip about is the Cataphract GL with Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch as the main role. So we'll see how much ammo it will be able to hold after this change as well. However, there are a few things that we are going to touch up on that definitely relates to both the Cataphract GL and the Apex Predator. Did you know that in this next update, you're going to be able to proc Trench Barrel with ranged melee attacks? This basically acts as a indirect buff for anybody who loves to use the Legend of Acarius. We'll take that. Bait and Switch is a little too strong in its current form, outpacing most other options. But at the same time, it doesn't need a massive change. Bait and Switch reduced damage bonus from 35% to 30%. It's still going to buff your Wolfpack rounds, so it's still going to be the best on rockets. Envious Assassin is now going to have each activation capped at 100% of the magazine size instead of 150%. And the maximum overflow is now 3 times the magazine instead of 4 times the magazine. This is obviously the main combo of perks that the Cataphract excels with. However, it is going to be getting more ammo, but its damage perk isn't going to be as strong. Spike grenades isn't going to be as strong. and Envious isn't going to give you as fat of a magazine. Definitely something to look at when this update drops. See how the grenade launcher is feeling afterwards. Also, they took out the 1-2, mainly the 2 out of 1-2 punch. Now correctly deactivates after dealing damage with a powered melee. This mainly affects banner titans, but you now have to go shotgun melee, shotgun melee. You can't go shotgun melee melee. And the last two things that I want to touch up on from this TWAB today is the fact that they are going to be buffing the X-Dirus exotic grenade launcher, increased impact damage against PvE enemies by 50%. The detonation damage is unaffected, so the total damage increases works out to be around 20%, varying by target type, and then increase the maximum rate of fire by 17%. Honestly, kind of interested to see how this thing looks afterwards. Then they had this brief little spot in the TWAB that we're going to finish off the video at. The future, reading as we've pulled a lot of balance changes from the final shape in Destiny 2 Into the Light into update 7.3.5, but we still have a number of small but exciting changes shipping into the light, touching content many players haven't thought about in several years. Is that referring to the DCV? I don't want to get too excited, but the copium is high when reading that sentence. I'm just saying. In the final shape, we're rebalancing many weapon types in PvE, buffing underperforming weapons, and leaving most high performers untouched since we're looking at PvE weapon tuning. Anyway, over the course of the year of the final shape, we'll be looking at weapon mods that feel mandatory, and we intend to make some changes that will increase player choice, particularly in PvE. We're also making substantial changes to several of the least used exotic weapons and adjusting some perks, including long requested change to chill clip, making it more viable to use on slower firing weapons. You can also look forward to being able to enhance many more weapons. I'm wondering if this is referring to like other raid weapons. Hey, I don't know. Or maybe just your world drops. Can you imagine giving your world drop perks enhanced perks? We'll be back with more information on weapon enhancement soon. That's going to wrap it up for this little video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Bipod Gjallarhorn, the grenade launchers, or anything else that may pique your interest. Thank you for watching the video. Remember, if you ever want to get your games and DLC for a cheaper price, you make sure you head over to Instant Gaming. That is the top link in the description, along with a free monthly game giveaway that they do every single month. You guys be safe, take care, consider subscribing. We'll see your beautiful faces in the next one. I do have a pretty cool little new series on the way, and it's definitely a bit outside of the box. Y'all be safe. Adios.
They have no idea. They have no
What, that you're
fucking
out there?
clue. Yeah, they have no fucking clue, dude.
How do you plan on reviving this?
Oh my god.
Did it again!
Completely big brained. There's no way. Dude, I'm
Like, he's
flipping
on
out.
his